Our guest today on Caribbeana is Mr. Winston Gypsy Peters. Winston is no stranger to us. We met Winston many years ago, and we worked together at the Smithsonian. And I mean, Winston, is so nice seeing you, man, at this stage, eh?
Very nice seeing you too, Vaughn. Very nice seeing you. All the
Yes,
best.
yeah.
Good.
Well, now you're chairman of the NCC, the National Carnival Commission.
Yes.
Give us a sense of how that is going, especially for this year, 2025.
Well, Vaughn, it is going very well. It has been going very well. It has been doing well since, well, I shouldn't say it has been doing well since I'm here, because that would imply that it wasn't going good before. But it is going good, and I hope that what I brought to it has improved what we had some.
Right,
And we are doing better now, I think, because every year our visitorship is increasing because of our intervention in some of the carnivals that we have spawned around the world,
right.
including North America. You know that I was involved in your carnival there as well in
Yes,
Washington,
yeah,
D.C.
yes, yes,
Yes, so I know of carnival well,
yeah,
so we've been doing a lot of things. We have a lot of interventions doing what we are
right,
doing.
right. But what would
And
you say is the significant factor that has made that an attractive figure to people the world over?
make the awareness, making people more aware of what carnival in Trinidad and Tobago is all about, because carnival in Trinidad and Tobago is different to even the carnival that they see, that the carnival that we have exported around the world. There is a different there are significant differences, because carnival actually in Trinidad and Tobago is based on reality in a lot of ways, even though now we have imported quite a few things from Brazil and other places. But carnival in Trinidad and Tobago is a reality, is what we live, is where we came from. The
Right,
characters that we have in Trinidad and Tobago carnival, you don't see them any other place, because it doesn't apply to those places unless we try to imbue them their own carnival with our characters.
right.
Like the devil and the bookman and Laja Bless and all these things. These things they have meanings for us.
Yes,
They have meanings. They are actually portrayals of things that we have lived and things that we have believed in. And there was a time in our country when we were colonialized, and you couldn't say certain things in a certain way, so you had to find different ways to say it. Just like the calypso,
yeah,
these visuals that we have with the bookman, they are real people that we call devils and stuff, and we couldn't call them that in a certain way, so
right,
we find ways to do all of that. So all these things have made our carnival different to a lot of the carnivals that we have exported. And those are the differences that we are taking to these other carnivals
right,
and make them so interested. Quite apart from the fact that we are the home of soca, we are the home of calypso, we are the home of steel pan. So if you want to hear real steel pan, you
right,
come to Trinidad and Tobago. If you want to hear real soca and calypso, this is the mecca of it all. This is where it started. So these are the things that we make people aware of, and,
right,
and heighten their interest in coming to our country.
right. Well, I know for a fact that many people come and study the business of carnival in Trinidad, you know.
Yes.
Is there a carnival institute? Is there an institute that collects this material and disperses it?
Most certainly, that institute is controlled by the National Carnival Commission of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm in charge of it. We have that institute right here,
Right.
right in our own on our own premises.
Yes, yes.
So we do have that, and we do disseminate the information to students who come to Trinidad and Tobago from different parts of the world.
Yeah.
And yes, that's another part of the uniqueness of our carnival. There are people who would come to Trinidad and Tobago for carnival and would never see carnival in Port of Spain,
Yes, yes.
because the regional carnival remains true to what Trinidad and Tobago carnival is all about. And the National Carnival Commission preserves those thoughts and preserve those visuals of
Right,
in the regional carnival.
right, right.
So they come here to study it, and they spend a lot of time in places like Toko, Point Fontaine, Cedros, Icacos, Miaro,
Yeah,
looking at the aspect of carnival that really and truly doesn't exist in its truest sense
right,
in Port of Spain and San Fernando.
right, right. You know, I was so happy when I tuned in and I heard a name, the name of the mentor who really groomed me into my work in Carnival and Calypso and
Yes.
culture, and that was John Cupid. And
Oh my goodness. Yes.
I see that there's a village. The village is named after him. I mean,
Yes.
thank you,
Yes.
man. I feel so good
Yes.
about that. You know.
Yes. Yes. And I want to tell you that I actually instituted that village in a different incarnation. I was the Minister of Culture.
Yeah.
And of course, I found the need to do it. John was still alive.
Yes.
John was a dear friend of mine, and I know his work, and I know how dear Carnival and its studies were to him,
Yes.
and his input into Carnival. So of course, we did that village in ode to John, and
Yes.
I feel proud about it. And today, John Cupid Village we have more than 100,000 visitors to the John Cupid Village.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Man, I look, you don't know how I felt so proud of that, man, you know.
Yes.
It gave my I'm now seeing the vestiges of my work somewhere. You
Yes,
understand?
yes, yes. Well, let me tell you, there are lots of people in this world who know about your work and who know what you do. Here sits one in front of you, and I telling you, I would ensure that the world remember who you are long after you're gone, because your input into our cultural life and what you have done and what you have been doing for the diaspora outside of Trinidad and Tobago is invaluable. And I really would allow the world to know about that for as long as I can.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate that, you know.
Yes,
But
Vaughn, you have done well.
it's not just for that, but it's just for the propagation, you know. I just felt that people didn't know sufficient about my country. And
Yes.
they were saying, where you from, Jamaica, you know. And you know, when you tell a Trini man he's from Jamaica, you're setting up
It's offensive.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But one of the things I like about you is that you have never lost your Trinidadianness. And to me, that is so good. You know that we have a lot of people who are out of Trinidad and Tobago, just like my good self,
yeah.
but we have never lost Trinidad and Tobago. We
Right,
have always thought about who we left behind, what we have left behind, and
right,
try to see how best we can get that into the people, outside of
right.
our own country to understand. Because there are so much things
Yeah,
that this little country called Trinidad and Tobago have given to the world.
yes, yes,
And a lot of people don't know about it. And people like your good self have labored in the vineyards to ensure that that happened. And
yeah.
for that, we are grateful. We are grateful to people like you and the others who have been doing it.
Right, right, right. Yeah,
Yes.
people like Dalton Narayan, who was
Of
Lester's
course.
man.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course, Dalton. Yeah.
yeah. Now, I mean, what are we seeing for 2025 special? Is there anything special? Is there a theme or anything like that?
Well, the theme of our carnival is no place like home. We take a ride on last year's road march,
Right.
a song called DNA. And
Yeah.
of course he says there's no place like home. This is a saying that we have all the time, but we are bringing it to life in the carnival, because
Right.
the carnival brings a lot of things to life. And yes, there's no place like home.
Yeah.
So there's no place like home, and we are trying to ensure that when people who are from here come home, they recognize that there is no place like home. And
Right.
people who are not from here, when they come to our home, we want to make them feel welcome home.
Right, 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 right. Well, the usual bands are coming out. They have the usual big bands and
And much more bands, much more bands. We have
ah,
much more bands this year. I am told by the National Band Leaders Association of Trinidad and Tobago that we have at least, I think we have more than 50 more bands or so that,
wow.
that, that are here. So that means that people from everywhere, as a matter of fact, all the costumes are sold out.
Right. Wow.
The costume from the other bands, I was trying to get a costume for my granddaughter who wants to come in from Georgia. And I mean, she's too late now, so she can't get the one she wants.
Right.
Actually, because of who I am and my friends are there, they're making one for me so
Right.
that she
Right.
can have it. So it's good. I'm happy to hear that. I love that. I love that. All of our events, the fetes, the everything. We have more than 200 fetes in this country. Most of them are sold out. The visitorship, the
Wow.
CSO is trending upwards, and they're showing us, what is happening here.
Yeah.
So it's a comfortable space to be in and a comfortable place to be at this
Right,
time.
right, right. Right. Well, finally, the influences of what's happening outside here, does that impact on the society?
Oh yes, it impacts because when I mean when America eye runs water, everybody else's noses gets whatever get into it,
Yeah.
and we are not exempt from that kind of thing, and we do have a president then now who is your president and mine, I guess, and, and his impact on what is happening around this place is yes, it has an impact. It has an impact. It has an impact of caution.
Right, 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 right. Well, listen, man, any last words you'd like to leave us with?
I just want to tell everybody that it's nice talking to you, Vaughn, and more than that, I want to tell them that our carnival, our Trinidad and Tobago carnival, is the greatest show on earth. It's not a cliche. It's the greatest show on earth, and there is nothing quite like it, and there is nothing as safe as it. So feel free to come to Trinidad and Tobago and let's enjoy ourselves and let's see what a real carnival is all about.
Right,
Come to the Mecca of Carnival and remember, there's no place like home.
like home. By the way, I wanted to squeeze in this one.
Yes.
You are a Calypsonian by trade,
By
by
trade,
whatever, by
by profession.
profession,
Yes.
and that's an added attribution to your relevance to the
Yes.
function. Yeah,
Thanks. Thank you,
yeah, man.
Vaughn.
Well, you
Thank
take
you,
care.
Vaughn.
Have a good day.
And all the best to you and your family, my
All
brother.
right, thanks.
Okay, bye.
I've been speaking with Winston Gypsy Peters, who is the chairman of the NCC, the National Carnival Commission of Trinidad and Tobago. This is Vaughn Martin. Caribbeana continues.